All right, what up, y'all? Hemingway checking in, and I'm scrolling through the timeline. I come across this video with T Pain, and he actually giving advice, or he was asked on his stream, what is advice you would have for upcoming artists? And I wouldn't classify myself as upcoming, but I would classify myself as independent and or maybe even underground. Um, and I think the advice that he gave was pretty dope because this is a way of thinking um I've learned over the last, probably like 4 or 5 years, just like I'm way beyond the asking for, people's feedback or random opinions and stuff like that. But he gives a good breakdown on why you shouldn't ask other artists for advice. So it's like he's asked about giving advice and he basically tells you not to take advice, but he's still giving you good, good gems, man. And he been dropping some gems over the last like probably 4 or 5 years or so since his situation has changed. Whatever his last major label deal was, he been just giving game about just the industry and in and outs and shit like that, and then doing live streams, making songs and stuff, and just explaining how he makes his money, how he makes his living, and stuff like that. So pretty dope, man. If y'all are liking this, like videos like this, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the page, click follow depending on what platform you're seeing this on, and keep in touch with me for all my other videos I got coming forward.
Any advice for aspiring artists in music? Stop asking artists for advice. That sounds mean as shit. But I will tell you, anytime an artist or a producer gets into the game, that door closes. And if I would have listened to Scott Storch, Snoop, fucking Bone Crusher, or the many artists that came before me, if I would have listened to them people, I would not be where I am.
Nah, if your brain is like mine, it's like what the fuck the Bone Crusher tell him? I don't know. I don't think he ever mentioned it.
Today, I swear. Scott Storch told me to not use the 808s that I use still to this day.
Crazy.
And that's the same 808s I used on Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks, which made a monumental album, which made, like, the reason he said that he even did that album was because of the 808s I used when Scott Storch told me not to use them. Snoop Dogg told me that auto-tune shit was a gimmick and it was only gonna last for like one or two singles.
Everybody told him that, basically. We know that story.
Stop asking people for fucking... Do what you like, bro. That's my advice. Stop asking people for advice and do what you like. If you like it, it's good. Now, who is it good to? That's for you to decide.
And I think that's how most artists should approach making music. Like, I mean, there's different types of artists. So if you're one of those artists who like, hey, I woke up today, I want to start making music, being a singer, rapper, songwriter, whatever, producer, and you like, I want to make what's hot, what's popping, what's on the radio, what's popping on the internet, what people are listening to, and that's your thing, then that's a way you can get into the industry, or you can start making music and become established as an artist. But if you are one of the artists that care about being unique, or the creative, more so the creative part of it, and just actually being into the process, just do what you do. And once you do what you do, then you got to try to put it out there and find people that appreciate what you are already giving out. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to make specifically what people already are asking for or like, then you got to take the risk of making what you like and then hoping to find them people. But that's part of the game. I would say it is a little easier to go ahead and make stuff that people like for sure, but it just depends on, it's a longevity game for real.
You can't ask nobody for that. That's not something you can just ask a person. Do what you like. Now that's one thing that I carry with me all the time. A Quentin Tarantino quote. Somebody asked Quentin Tarantino,
Should have scrubbed that.
who the fuck do you make movies for? I don't know if you've seen a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie before, but I also have that same fucking question. Who the fuck are you making movies for, my nigga? Like, what kind of fans are you making these movies for? Quentin Tarantino said, I don't make my movies for anybody. I make my movies for myself. And I pray to God, for the studio's sake, that somebody out there is as crazy as me and they like the same shit as me. That's it. That's it. You don't have to fuck your favorite artists. Fuck them people that came before you. If you like it, there's somebody else. There's at least 12 other people. Out of 7 billion? Out of 7 billion people, there has to be somebody else that likes the shit that you like. If you like it a lot, out of 7 billion people, there has to be somebody else that likes it. You don't have to ask artists what they think. You don't have to ask because we don't fucking know. We like what we like. We've done the same thing. We're not going off of any formula or anything like that. Well, some people do. And them the people that don't last long. The people that try to what's hot right now? Let me listen to the iTunes top 10 so I can just make a song like that right now, and then we should be good. Shit don't last. The shit lasts when you do what you like, and then I always tell people I don't know what a hit is. I have no idea what a hit is. I know when I make a song, what it makes me feel like. And there's a certain feeling that's always correlated with what people call a hit.
Now let's keep in mind, this is T-Pain. He got plenty hits. He got plenty hits. I'm just saying. So even he says he don't really know, he can't call it. He just knows he could feel it. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's something. And the rest of this he's about to get into is actually, it makes sense. Like, this is how you know you kind of got something.
When I made Buy You a Drink, I felt so proud of that fucking song. I went around to every studio I could find and showed it to the artists in there. Like, look at the song I made. The last person I showed it to was Chris Brown. When I showed Buy You a Drink to Chris Brown, let me buy you a drink. That one. Sloppy Trigger, thank you for the gift. When I showed that shit to Chris Brown, his whole team called my team for a week and a half after that shit. Like, we need that record. We want that record.
It's crazy.
And I was like, yeah, no, for sure. Even when it was in the studio, Chris was like, bro, I know you wrote that record, but you got to give me that record. And I was like, absolutely, you can have that record. And then he turned around and I looked at my team like, as soon as he turned around, bro, I was like, I know we got something. If Chris Brown won't run one of my records, because before that, he didn't want shit. So when Chris Brown wanted one of my records, I was like, bro, we got something for sure. No question.
It's dope advice to not necessarily take advice from other artists. You have a learning curve when you initially start and you're a beginner, but after the first, I'd say, year or two, you shouldn't be just out here asking artists for advice on how to get on. You need to try to set goals and try to figure out the best route to accomplish those goals on your own, and or for yourself as an individual, as an artist. And what he was saying about just knowing that you got something, once you're really moving around and you showing it, and promoting and putting out your clips and everything like that, most people gonna let you know if you got something, and that's when you'll kind of know when you want to push the gas or put something else behind it and get more into it. The second clip is a little bit more advice, but it's more on the money side of things, just talking about the experience he went through when his career went more on a decline, actually started losing some money, stuff like that, but just talking about how that went from his perspective.
Through that whole episode, if I found out, if I would have known that other artists have gone through this, people I look up to, if they would have just said that, look, it's not all great, it's not gonna be fine this whole time, if I would have known that, I would have been mentally prepared. First of all, I would have been ready. I would have prepared myself financially. I would have put something aside. But from the people that came before me, even rock stars, rappers, singers, everybody, athletes, just like, no, this whole thing is just money all the time.
And that's what a lot of people usually will think it is. But as we all know, and as we've seen in real time, it's a short-lived career. Similar to athletes, man, it's like an artist. I guess his or her peak or hot streak is they say an average career is about 3 years. You get in, get out, you make the most money in the peak of 3 years. I guess somewhere in a year and a half, and that's about it. And I can only imagine it's getting shorter if you're not doing the things you need to do to like solidify really playing the long game. And most of that is just doing what you like to do and continuing to grow and expound on that and express that the best way possible. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all think that was good advice. I mean, that's coming from a hit maker, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who's still successful and actually winning in the music game as well as other things. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Until next time, I go by the name of Hemingway. I'm still at it, man. Y'all have a good one.